Hi students, today we will see about business strategy 2 marks unit 2. So define resource based view of strategy. So the strategy can be formulating using the resource based view. So what is that resource based view? So resource is maybe the company having the internal resources or external resources. If it is going to be the internal resources, it can be classified as a tangible resource and it can be the intangible resources. Tangible is the resource which can be physically felt, seen, that is called as tangible. Example being the company property, the company physical assets, equipment, cash, etc. Whereas intangible assets is which can be only felt. For example, the company's goodwill, brand reputation, culture, etc. are called as intangible resources. When we are going to set up the strategy depending on the resources, then we can say it as a resource based view of strategy. The company can take advantage of its resources and it can stand out from other companies based on it. So it can stand in the market and it can succeed in the market by means of using that difference, using that different kind of resources which it is able to show it as a competitive advantage. So whenever it is using its resource for the strategy to stand out in business, it should actually satisfy the VRIO criteria. What is that VRIO criteria? The resource should be valuable such that when someone is going to imitate such kind of valuable materials, they should not be able to do it because it should be very much valuable, so you stand out, and it should be rare so that the other companies don't get it easily. So maybe you are the only one maybe able to have access to that resource, that is called as rare, and it should be inimitable so that other company does not imitate it and take it as an advantage to stand out in business. And it should be an organized one. So whenever you are going to use the resource as the strategy to stand out in business, it has to satisfy the criteria of VRIO. The next question is mention the concept of organizational capability. What is the capability which you are able to do, right? So that is called as a capability. Whether you are able to do this work, whether you are able to do this work complete and also do it in a successful manner, that is called as the capability. So whether an organization is able to do it like that, so that is called as the concept of organizational capability. So here in business, if you see, what are the common examples of business capabilities are customer relationship management. Whether the company is able to manage the customer, maintain the relationship with the customer in a smooth manner, whether it is getting feedback, whether it is improving itself by means of the customer feedback, whether it is adjusting itself so as to satisfy the customer. Supply chain management, so whether the supply for the company, whether the raw materials, whether the cash flow are good for the company. Financial management, so whether the human resources is managed properly, whether for the work the proper employees, so the proper employees are allotted for doing the work, whether they are skilled, whether they are trained, that is called as a human resource management. And the marketing and sales, whether it is able to do the marketing, introduce the product into the market properly, and whether it is able to get good sales, that and all will measure the organizational capability. So in precise, if you say, the capability refers to the organization ability to effectively perform the specific task and whether it is able to achieve the desired outcome, so including the people, process and technology. Thank you.